Hello, Meg here from I Teach Stamping, and welcome to the Friday Flip. So the Friday Flip is where we take one project idea and we flip it into something completely different, keeping the parts we like, changing up some of the parts we might not like, and today's card is all about keeping a whole lot of it, just changing up who this card is for. So let's go ahead and take a look. So let's go ahead and start with our inspiration card. There's so many things that I like about this. I like the background texture, I like the tag, and I liked having 3 stacked elements. So we're going to keep a lot of this, but now we're going to make it into a card for a little baby boy. So let's go ahead and start with our big shot. Let me bring this in, scoot it on down, and we're going to start with a piece of Marina Mist that's going to be 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. So I'm going to use the Chevron embossing folder. And I could have stuck with the same embossing folder, but I just really like the chevrons, especially for little boy stuff. I don't know why, I just do. Alright, so we have this, and that's going to give us our fabulous texture right there. Then we're all done with the big shot. So let's bring in our grid paper, and the next thing we're going to do is work with a piece of vanilla cardstock. So this is going to be 1.5 by 3.5. And this is, since it's going to be 1.5, I know that the midway point is going to be right at 3/4. So I like using clear rulers where I can see my grid paper below and just get that nice and lined up. And what I'm looking to do is make a mark that's 3/8 of an inch from the top and 3/8 of an inch from the bottom. So this is how I do the little pennants and banners when I don't have a punch that I want to use. So now we're going to cut up to that 3/8 inch little dot there. Then we're cut from the corner up to that dot and from the corner. So I can either erase this dot when I'm done, or I just make the dot on the back side, which is what I did here. Of course, I need to look at the dot to see where it is. That helps. Throw those on the floor. Alright, so now let's go ahead and do, like I said, our stamping. So I'm going to start with a piece of Crumb Cake. This is going to be 2 inches by 4 1/4 inches, and I'm using the gorgeous Grunge stamp set. And just adding some speckles on there. And then I'm going to bring in some Marina Mist ink. And let's go ahead and start with our heart. So this is from the Groovy Love stamp set from Stampin' Up. Or stamp that onto some very vanilla cardstock. And then I'm going to bring in my Stamp-A-Majig to help me get placement of this. And this stamp set that I'm going to use now is called Petite Pears. So with this, all the sentiment, that's why I don't like having more than one ink pad open at a time. But anyway, each sentiment has 2 different parts to it. So we're going to do the Welcome Baby, and then the So Glad You're Here. Alright, and then all of our stamping is done. The next thing we're going to do is move on to our punching. So I'm going to start with the Sweetheart Punch. And you'll notice as I'm going through this, I didn't use any baby stamps. I just don't have any that I really liked for this project. So you can do this without having to have baby stamps. Then we're going to take the Scallop Tag Topper Punch, get that punched out. And then I've got a 1 3/4 inch circle punch and a piece of Marina Mist. We just want a circle is all. Alright, now we are ready to do our assembly. So I'm going to get the trash moved out of the way and get some of this cleaned up, and then we'll do it. So the base for our card is going to be Crumb Cake, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And to the inside, I'm going to drop in a piece of Very Vanilla. It's going to be 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, and that's going to be the inside of our card. Then for the front of our card, I'm going to go ahead and put on this Marina Mist that we added that great chevron texture to. And now we just have to make our tag. So there's a couple of different ways that I like to go about doing this. We're going to start with my circle and put this not quite exact. Oh, wait. We're going to put on this piece. That's what I meant to do. And now this is going to get adhesed to our tag. And it's going to go not quite in the middle. We're going to move it over a little bit to the left. So I'm going to add ribbon over here, and I don't want it to feel too smushed. Alright, so we have that. Let's go ahead and add our ribbon next. So this is some of the Marina Mist cotton ribbon. Leaving it about 1/2 of an inch, 3/8 to 1/2 of an inch from the right hand side. And then I'm going to bring in some vanilla seam binding. I'm going to thread it through this. And then someone asked me how it is that I tie my linen thread around this without it popping through and everything else. I'm going to show you my little trick here. So it's just a mini clothespin. I'm going to take it and hold that ribbon in place. I'm going to bring in some linen thread. I'm just going to tie this in a single knot, or yeah, to start in a single knot, and then in a double knot. And then we're going to give that a trim and a trim. And we're bringing my good ribbon scissors to clean up the seam binding. There we go. All right, and then this is going to go ahead and go onto our tag, onto our card. It is the tag. We don't need to put it onto the tag. All right, so we have this. And it's going to go on here, and then just a couple more elements, and this card is done. So the first thing we're going to do is our heart with some dimensionals. And then we're going to bring in the 10-second bow maker and more of this Marina Mist ribbon. And remember, when you get the 10-second bow maker, you get access to free training videos teaching you like 6 different bows you can make with the bow maker. And so we're going to do this. Because you can do much more than just the basic bow. We're going to pull that off, pull our tails down, give it a trim. Give it a trim, and we're going to grab a mini glue dot and kiss it on there, peel it off. We're going to put it on like so. And so just like that, we have our flip card. I'm going to take my tails and get them nice and adjusted, and I'm going to fan this out up here. And ta-da, there we have it. So let's go ahead and bring in our inspiration card and compare them. So we've kept the background texture, we kept the heart, we kept a little pop of color behind, we kept the tag, we just stamped on it, we kept the bow, we kept that, we kept a whole bunch of this card, but it went from being just a card that's a here for you card into being a welcome baby card for a little boy. So I hope you enjoyed the Friday Flip. If you did, please be sure to like it below, and also be sure to share this video with your friends. Then head on over to itstamping.com. Make sure that you are signed up for my mailing list so you don't miss a single exclusive email that I send out that's full of paper crafting tips, money-saving tips, storage tips, more exclusive videos, and some projects that I only share with people on that list. Again, I'm Meg from IT Stamping. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.